All right guys, Jason with Fender Garage, Gilbert, Arizona, and I've got this 1976 Ford F-150 long wheelbase, super rad truck that we finished. All right, so let me show you what we were actually working on. We took the gauges out because when you order Dakota Digital gauges, occasionally you might forget to order the gauges for a Coyote motor. And so you want to be able to get those gauges set up to where the oil pressure can read a little higher. There's not anything wrong with the gauges. The only thing that happens is that occasionally a red warning light will come on because it's sensing too much pressure for the actual gauge cluster itself. It's reading higher than the sensor wants it to go. And so we're having the sensor change in the cluster so that it actually will not flicker a red light. Other than that, we'll get that done. A couple of little things, and you know how it goes. If you order Dakota Digital gauges, it takes like 16 weeks for anything, so hopefully we'll get this fixed and repaired like in the next 4 or 5 weeks and get the truck back over to him. But let's go take a look at some Cerakoting. So one thing that we've been doing a lot more of is Cerakoting in our shop. More durable than paint. It can handle really high temperature with certain series that they have, and so you can get some bake dry, which we have a small oven. You can also have some that air dry. The air dry takes typically about 5 days to dry before it's officially cured, but still after a day or two you can package things up as long as it can kind of breathe a little bit. It's not in a Ziploc baggie, it'll still dry. Let me come show you what we're working on back over here. Okay, so it stinks really good in here, so we won't be in here for long, but we actually just sprayed a Cerakote finish on here. Probably in the camera it looks like just aluminum again, but it actually has a little bit of a gold bronze look to it. Gives it a nice satin finish. We'll put all this together. The front runner system and everything will all be in a nice black. And as you start putting it back together, it'll look really good. But this temperature that this Cerakote can go up to is about 1500 to 1700 degrees. So we should be good. There's turbos on this truck, and so we want to make sure that we can handle the heat just fine. It's pretty cool. It's a little bit harder to spray than actually just paint, but Juan's finally getting the hang of it, and it's looking better and better. Another thing that's cool about Cerakote that we found interesting is that you can actually paint threads, and it doesn't gum anything up, it doesn't change anything. It's literally microscopic, just a really thin layer. It's barely a mil thick, and so when you're spraying the threads and you're just kind of coating them and the tops and everything, you can still reuse them and put them back in a nut. So I want to show you another project we worked on that we use a lot of Cerakote. So this truck over here that Luis is kind of doing some fine tuning. If you take a look at this truck here, the bumper, the trim, the bed strips, the door handles, the side mirrors, the grille, the bezels around the lights, and the front bumper, and some of the components like the steering wheel inside are all a Cerakote. And so it allowed us to provide a super consistent finish and color and tie all that in without worrying about having a different sheen or look from powder coat to paint to Cerakote. So it's also a little better once it's fully cured of being a little more scratch resistant. One of the problems people they'll get too excited is when they spray Cerakote, they don't let it cure long enough before they start to handle it. But this stuff actually, you know, we've had really good luck with it. We're pretty happy with it. So you can check out the steering wheel. This is a Spark Industry steering wheel, super cool, super classic for this truck. So we've actually got some 3D printed speaker covers that we've done that we've Cerakoted. We've got some armrests that we're 3D printing that we'll be using on this truck. They'll all be Cerakoted black, and so it really does have, if you take a look at it, it really does have a nice, super nice look to it. Stays clean. All right, let's go check out this Bronco over here. This is a 79 Bronco that we are trying to get the bugs worked out of it. We started with a Gen 3 F-150 motor, and to be quite honest, we've just struggled getting it to work and like it should. We actually took it out for the customer. We put a Gen 3 Mustang motor in it. The motors aren't bad, the truck motors, but a lot of times it's difficult to actually get everything to work just right. And so I think we got, so we just pulled the other motor out a few days ago and put this one in. and now it's functioning like it should. And so we're pretty excited about it. Of course, you're gonna pick up an extra, 50, 60 horsepower while you're at it. This is a 67, 72 chassis. I think we've talked about these a little bit in the past. This is one that basically we're gonna put headers on it, exhaust on it, but for the most part, they're full-blown chassis, ready to go, set up, brake lines done, fuel done, exhaust done, and then you just take your truck and put your body on it, wire it up, and then you got a coyote swap. Here, as you look at all those, we'll open that up. Super cool. 14-inch rotors up front. We'll go look at this other one over here. It's got the exhaust done on it. Customers just got to come pick it up. We've got these gunny wheels on it. That way he can roll it and move it around, and he doesn't have to worry about putting his nice wheels on it. And so all the stainless steel exhaust systems already done on it. Just the little details like this. You've got your header coming here. It's a little hot, and we've actually, this section of hose right here for the fuel line, we've actually put a fiberglass sheath over it to kind of protect and provide some protection from the header. So just little details like that. We try to make sure that everything's thought out, planned, discussed. These are things we worry about when we're building a vehicle, and so we want to make sure that we're providing that same level of service on a chassis to a customer. We've got Jeremy over here. Jeremy, say hi.
Hi, hello everybody.
He's working on this truck. This hasn't been an easy one just due to the fact that there's not a lot of space. So you're making a cover right here?
Yep. I gotta finish it up, but we'll have that guy hidden away in there. Right now we're playing with an idea of basically matching this paint kind of look to the other side.
Oh, it's so symmetrical over there.
Symmetrical, and it won't be an oddball.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of ways to get some function and form out of it.
What do you think you might put under there? Hide something else or what?
No, that would be radiator overflow.
Oh, radio
expansion.
Oh, okay, I see.
So it'll function.
So it'll have something useful rather than just, why is that there? I think the battery would have been up here on the firewall, potentially right in there.
I think it was right here.
Yeah, and which is a terrible place when you're putting a Coyote motor. It's in the way. And so even we've had to move some things back, and we got a radiator we've ordered up for Coyote swaps that will go right here. That'll actually be just a direct bolt in, and it'll have the ports ready to connect and go on. It'll be a super nice radiator, brushless fans, all aluminum, nice core. So here we've used, what do they call it? ABS?
It's a
power assist. Electric power assist brakes. There's a company in California that makes it, and I think they're pretty good. They work pretty well. And it still provides a clean firewall, just master cylinder only, but it does give you some assist, and it actually, when they work,
Yeah.
Right? Just like brakes, when they work, and when they don't, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
I've actually had that problem where I was driving an old truck, and then the brakes went out,
It's gone.
and for a second you panic, because you're just thinking to yourself, stop, 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 and then you realize, oh, I should just turn the key off.
Yeah, downshift, something. Hit the e-brake if it's
Right.
Like,
so all that kind of stuff, you're just like, oh yeah, maybe I could have done that instead of ran into that tree.
Yeah.
So this truck is really close, other than a couple things going to bodywork. Danny's been working hard to try to get these doors to open and work well. They've got the weather stripping all in it. We've got all the latches, and I told them if they don't shut really good at this point, they're not going to shut good later. Anytime you're installing these Altman Easy latches, are they easy?
Yes.
It's anything but easy when it comes to an Altman Easy latch. It's Altman hard latch, really. But these are working pretty good with the weather stripping, and so that's super helpful. And we're trying to wrap up this thing, all the little details. If you come over here, we're just dialing in some of the little fit and finish on a few things. And so Daniel's over here fixing this stuff up, and as you can see, it's Arizona monsoon season. It's a little humid, so we'll have to go blast all this surface rust off and prime it. But that's just kind of the nature of the beast in monsoon season around here. But we're super close. We're real close on 3 of these, pushing them over to the body shop and moving on with them. But they're looking pretty good. It's been a headache, but we're almost there. He's over there fixing up a few things, and he's super close. Daniel's in charge of our fab department over here. How's it going, Daniel?
Doing the inner.
the inner structure, to reinforce it so it's thicker.
Didn't have any, and it's all kind of chopped up. So
The factory would come with just another layer in there, and so that's basically what he's making, is an additional layer to go in here for reinforcement and bolting things together. It won't dimple the metal when you bolt it all up, so cause it to wave. Oh, let's go look at something's kind of cool. We're kind of getting moving forward on it, and it's a 95 Ford Bronco. So we got this 95 Ford Bronco. We got the motor in it. Cleaned all this up, and we'll clean up all the brakes and stuff when we do it. But we're just getting it cleaned up and start ready to put things back together and look fresh and brand new. And so we got the motor sitting in here. We'll get the cover on here as well. But we're just getting all this stuff to fit and start figuring out our radiator. So we're designing a radiator for these. When you're doing a Coyote swap. We looked at all the other radiators that are out there for them, and I just don't know that the factory radiator is really going to be enough. It's just a tiny little core in there, and so we decided just to get a nice dual core radiator with a nice electric fan on it with a shroud, typical of the radiators that we've been selling. So we've got that being designed, and we'll hopefully in the next few weeks we'll have that here ready to go. I'm hoping we'll get this thing really moving down the road here quickly. So, but this is going to be a nice fun Bronco to drive. Andy,
hi.
How are things going?
Excellent.
Yeah,
Good as always.
anything you need?
Yeah.
More guys?
About 5 to 6 more people.
5 to 6 more people. All right. So if you're good at what you do, we're looking for
The best of the best of the best.
Okay.
Of the best.
All right, if that's you, apply. Doesn't matter what you do.
TIG welders, sheet metal, wiring, upholstery, paint and body. If you can draw CAD, probably got a pretty good chance working here.
Yeah.
We need more space.
Working on it.
Yes.
Working on
We're
it.
working on it.
That's a quick little rundown of what we got going on this week. Just busy as all get out. We got 4 or 5 guys gone today, so it's a little more quiet today. For a Monday, usually it's a lot busier, but it's just a little bit slower in the shop with what we got going on. Have we showed you the golf ball yet? Oh, let's go back. Let's go see it. We're printing a golf ball. It's pretty cool. Whoa. Steve, say hi.
Hello there.
This is Steve, and he's probably the first big build we'd ever done. 6 years ago?
At least 6 years.
At least 6 years, yeah. Yeah, and it's a yellow stake bed truck. It was the first running Coyote motor that we'd actually put together.
Yeah.
I don't think there were very many on the road even back then.
No.
Like it was
new.
It was new, yeah. And so he took a chance on us, and honestly, he got a super rad truck out of it, and so he's just picking it up. We had to dial in the transmission, shifting a little bit hard, so, but anyways, cool. Good to see you.
It's good to see
Yeah,
you too.
take care of yourself.
All right, you take it easy.
All right, so check this out. We're 3D printing a golf ball, and as you can see, just my hand, it's pretty big. I think the diameter is about 25 inches of it. It takes 4 days to print 1/4, and so it takes literally half of a month to print a golf ball. This is quarter number 3, and then we'll have one more after this that we'll start this weekend, and then we can at that point put it all together, get it all glued up, and then we'll prime it, paint it, and kind of get it ready. It's for a charity golf tournament that they're putting on to raise money for some kids. They'll have a cool little hole where you get to putt a large golf ball. If you look behind, we've got a couple more 3D printers here that work, Form Labs, and these were our first 2 3D printers that we've had, but they help us with design and concepts. Sometimes we use it as an actual part, and sometimes it's just used for prototyping a part before we send it out and have it machined. So anyways, but that's it, man. Like, we're super glad to have you guys follow along with us and kind of the day in the life of what we do here. There's a lot of different things we're doing. It's not, we're building parts, we're designing things that are helpful for you maybe on a project, and we're constantly working and designing more and more and more. But at the same time, we're having a lot of fun building some cool vehicles, and we got a lot of cool stuff that just coming down through the pipe, and so it just takes time. I wish we could actually build them all in a week like they do on television, but honestly for us, it takes about a year. We just got a lot going on. But anyway, so stay tuned and we'll try to get another video out to you in the next week or two. Thanks.